Enzo, vattene via dal mio club. Vattene via dal mio Chelsea. Get the hell out of my club, Enzo. Get the hell out of my Chelsea. That's what a lot of fans are saying today, and they're saying this week. Welcome back to FFB, amigos. And today we're doing a special edition weekly news. I don't like doing these normally because I think in the other channels, they Chelsea's thinking of signing a 9-year-old boy from Buttfaceistan, and it's like it's a non-issue and a lot of non-news. But I think this post-match conference, Enzo doesn't do himself any favors, and I think we need to get into it now. I don't get paid to. I don't have a team. I don't have anybody. I'm teaching myself to edit to make these videos for you guys. So you have to be patient. But I decided I wanted to do it because first I heard the news of like Maresca beating up the fans or talking about playing long balls, all this really weird stuff. Really made me upset. Then I started watching all the clips of all your regular pundits. I mean, even the real ones: Sky Sports, BBC, Talk Sport, which I like, Gabby at Lahore, a bunch of people talking about it. And then obviously the heroes of mine, the Bensons and the Matisses and the all these guys, and they were a lot of them losing their minds and trashing them, but showing just talking about the clips. But then I decided, you know what, I'm going to watch the whole thing. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt because I want to be that voice for the Chelsea fans. That's the voice of reason. Because I was psycho upset, to be honest with you, and I wanted to do a Maresca out video. I don't like to be that kind of fan, but I think I was kind of there emotionally. So I patiently watched the whole thing and I broke it down. So this is probably going to get killed. So I don't know how many of you will be able to see it because I want to actually show the clips and be able to discuss what is being said to give them the full benefit of the doubt. And you guys land wherever you land, and I know where I'll land on this. So maybe we can watch it together. So let's go and let's watch this first clip. I'm going to play it chronologically of how it went because I think the last clip sort of saves his ass. And that's the one that a lot of people are not talking about. But hey, you guys make up your own mind. Let's watch the first one.
No, no, in terms of, I think we lost a little bit confidence because we conceded, probably because, the environment.
We lost confidence because we conceded, probably because of the environment, meaning the stadium, meaning the fans. We conceded because of the environment, the fans.
And this is the moment that you have to continue doing the right things and don't change plan.
Yes, we continue doing the right things. Yes. Don't change the plan. Not so sure. Not a thing Chelsea fans love.
Also because, we are a team that most of the times our goal kick we start from
We
playing
know.
short. The second goal we decide to
We
play
know.
long because the environment of that.
We decided to play long because of the environment. Da, da, da. Okay, so the stadium gets passionate, let's say it, because the boos weren't there until actually the second half fully. But maybe there was some boos and complaints, so that means the players can't handle that and are changing. Interesting. But maybe it's because they don't want to listen to the coach rather than the fans. But let's see.
And we concede the second one. So you have to
And
be
we
strong.
conceded the second one. So far, that's what we're looking at.
No, it's just for sure not, but I can understand because probably we concede the goal and they decide to play long ball.
So we conceded the ball and they decided to play a long ball, meaning the players on out of their own volition without following, I assume, the plan.
But sometimes, I said many times, sometimes you go long doesn't mean that you are going to control some.
You going long doesn't mean you're going to control something, of course, but it depends on the circumstance, right? And he has said in the past in other press conferences, which he's really doing really well at these press conferences, he said that he'll take players out if they go long, even on the biggest of pressure, which is just, I'm hoping like a joke, misunderstood humor. But anyway,
Something. And the second goal we concede is for that.
so the second goal we concede is for that.
And then in terms of fans, I said many times, we are stronger with our fans. We are better team, and it's up to them to decide the way. For sure today, probably.
So it's up to the fans to decide the way, meaning it's up to the fans to decide whether they support, cheer, or boo. No shit, Sherlock. We know that. But I think it's up to the players also to give something to the fans. And when you're losing to a club after shit results, mate, after shit results, after really poor results for a very long time, which I've defended. Because look, again, I don't think it's this guy's fault. We'll get into it in the end, right? I mean, this is who they're putting in charge. They put a championship coach in charge. He's learning too. But nobody can help the circumstance we're in. But I don't think blaming the fans is very smart. Not saying that the environment it is what is causing to make these decisions on the field, and sticking to the game plan, this amazing game plan that hasn't worked for months, is supposedly better than a player improvising on the pitch.
With the 0-1, 0-2, it's normal to be in the way they were.
Okay, so they're saying that it's normal for the fans after the one down to nil down against a relegated team with many games to go. One of the worst teams at the Premier League, certainly this year, and I've seen in seasons, because certainly Southampton fully relegated. The battle down there has been pretty. They're gone. The teams are long gone, long relegated. Wolves, with the result they got this week, it's like they're done. And you're a team that's fighting supposedly for top four. Okay, if you want to be mediocre like him, top six, it's still a shit result and unacceptable. So it kind of catches my. It doesn't. He doesn't do himself any favor. And I think the one that's coming up now is the bad one. It's the worst one. Let's see.
No, yeah, I think both goals we concede, both we can defend better.
Both goals that we conceded, we can defend better. Completely agreed, sir. Absolutely. We saw the mistakes with Cole, broadly in the defense, Cucurella gone. And as always, transition sucks. And I think that's something that's your responsibility to address.
But if you analyze both goals, the first goal is from Enzo, long ball.
The first goal is from Enzo, who plays the long ball. So one of the best long ball playing players in the world decides to play a long ball.
Lose the ball, we concede.
So we lose
Second
the ball
one
and we
is
concede. Nothing about the fact of the transition. Not that you played a long ball, that you can't win the first ball, that you can't win the second ball, and that you can't handle that transition. But the fact that you played the long ball is the problem. That Enzo played the long ball is the problem. Okay.
goal kick, long ball, we concede.
The other one's a long goal kick, which you already spoke about the second one. So in this comment, now he's blaming both goals on the fact that we didn't play short and we didn't play his style, which, again, that could be a reason that you didn't gain control, but it's not a reason why you don't win the first ball, you don't win the second ball, you can't handle the transition, you can't defend properly. Like, it's preposterous, but keep listening. So far it's our fault, right? By the fans, especially the ones that are going in the stadium, because we're making them play that way. We're making the players not obey him. Sure.
But I
That's when I put in black and white a little bit. She took the color out. Let's see.
didn't say that the environment is an issue for us because
It is an environment, is an issue for us.
I always said that with our fans with us, we are a better team. They have been there all season, all my way. For sure, today, in a moment that we are in a difficult moment, you can expect them that they are not happy, but in the same moment, probably is the moment that we need for the players, especially the players that they are inside the pitch, is the moment that they probably need more support.
All right. Let's get back to business here. This last comment is the important one. Why am I not Maresca out? Because of the ownership that we have in this club and the shit model that we're playing with. And sorry I'm using these words, but it's the reality we have to face, and you guys have to accept it, and we all have to. And I'm not trying to be negative. I'm just going to be forceful with my words today, because I think that's what they are, because I'll go back to being positive all the time, because you have to have the context. When I see in the channels and I'm watching, because I'm a huge fan of Benson and all these guys that I've told you, I do the watch alongs with the people who inspired me to make the Chelsea videos. And when I hear all the rants and somebody like, Maresca, get the hell out of here. Why? What for? You think you're going to get Ancelotti to come here to Chelsea? That's not the model. That's not what we're going to bring. They're going to find some other fool with potential to bring in. This is going to go back to, look, Pochettino was the wrong hire because he's a Spurs coach. And that's wrong, not misunderstanding the DNA of Chelsea, all that stuff that we already talked. We're not going to get into. But I don't think there's much of a difference, and I think we would have been fared better. And I think now it's been proven what I said at the beginning of the videos. You go back months and listen to my videos, that was leftover hard work that was done in the Pochettino and that lift up that we had. And then once Maresca got his fingers into the pie, he started changing the way we play and playing football de batea, this side-to-side crapola, non-incisive football, no heavy metal, no rock and roll, not even the press, I think, is done properly. and no, therefore we don't see much except the magic that we had from Cole Palmer's, which saved us in this season. But we lost the good things that we had from last season, like for example Gusto and our right back and left backs sort of bombing forward. But in any case, which I say that in any case a lot, but in any case, at this end, he's at least admitting, right? So I'm not Maresca out because out for what? Out for who? To get some other rando in here? A rando brando to come in here and be the coach? Some other guy from the championship? Some other guy with potential? I would have kept Frank Lampard if we're going to go down this path. Like if we're really stuck down this, right? So we're down this Harry Potter thing, Graham Potter, and now we got this guy. It's not his fault, man. It's not his fault. He is who he is. He's got the skills that he's got. Somebody needs to tell him how to better manage the media. I think he lost big chunk of fans again with these comments. And he hasn't done himself any favors in the past with that. This whole we're ahead of schedule, we're not in the top four, just pushing and pushing. Now we can focus on the Premier League, so we're not in this cup. That's embarrassing, sir. We have shittier teams that are competing for cups, a lot shittier that are 12th, 13th, without saying any names, Spurs, Manchester United, and other teams that are really fighting for other cups, and teams that handle Champions League or that handle European football, the likes of Villa or Nottingham Forest, they're going to be up there. They're going to be able to handle that better than we can. And we had an Ipswich that handled us. That only we took 1 point from them. That's the dynamic. So I think he didn't do himself any favors. I think things are pretty tough for him. And again, I'm not Maresca out just because of that. If I knew that we would go and get a good coach, a better coach, find experience, if I knew that we would buy somebody as a center back and a mid and a world class striker, even a potential like Jokers and Awesome. Because you guys also think these guys are going to come in and save us like they're already well made players like Harry Kane. They are not. They can be. They haven't set foot in the Premier League, and that's a different animal. We've seen monsters. When the Serie A was one of the best ever, we brought Juan Sebastian Verón to Manchester, Chelsea, and Manchester United. It didn't work out. So great players in other leagues have come here. Shevchenko came to Chelsea. Crespo, they couldn't win their spot. They couldn't become that elite. As amazing, godlike players that they were. So it doesn't mean that you bring Osimhen or Gyökeres here, which I don't think we will at this stage, and that's going to turn our luck around because they're also not these elite, experienced Premier League players. But fine, let's assume that they do turn into that. But we need the coach to turn into that. All the other players turn into that. So we're not going to get the experience. We're not going to get the coach. So why Maresca out? That's what I ask all of you. So please tell me in the comments. Why out? Out for what? Out for who? That realistically these owners are going to buy. So it doesn't make much sense. But I do want to put a boot up his ass. And I hope you would be listening to me, Enzo. You need to cut the shit, man. You need to remember the Chelsea DNA. We're winners, we're fighters, and sometimes results are completely unacceptable. And a lot of this shit is down to your fault. You're not, I've said this so many times, we're not an elite team with experienced players with KDB like the way Pep never, he doesn't give in. And look what happened to him even. Because once you don't have the best players in the world at their best time in the best moment playing in your system, you have to adapt. You need to adjust. You need to come with other ways to attack. You need to find, and that's something he's been inflexible with. I don't understand. I don't understand. We need to win. And the same thing to the ownership. We need to win on the path to this platonic future, utopian, dystopian future that you have where all the players are going to be worth all this money and fulfill their potential and the coach and the team. In the meantime, you have to win to be able to expose those people to the experience to win, to become those players that you hope for them to become. So I don't know what you guys think. I think in the real the way the world should be, this guy should be out on his ass. But I'm scared of what they would do. Sometimes the grass on the other side is lava. So we've already seen that. We got rid of some coach of a Spurs coach, which we didn't like or whatever, but we were doing better, and we brought in a championship coach. So if we kick this guy out, the only reason why I would like this, maybe I get a shot, right? Maybe I get a shot if Maresca gets kicked out. So think about that. Think about that. And what I do want to talk to the fans, let's find a way to criticize the actions that is taking. And I still go back to the ownership. People were mocking the people that were protesting the ownership, but this is a reflection of all that. We need to go back to that. But let's find a way. Let's not shit on the players because that's not going to help any. And we really need it now. Now we're shit out of luck, man. We need the points. We need to play out of our skin now. I think if we had those points that we didn't drop, those 2 points now, and probably we should have been performing that whole window where we didn't, we shouldn't be where we are, but we are. And it's not going to help to be just complete assholes to our team. So let's be very careful with that. Let's find a way to support them and push them through as long as that they're trying. And I think they're trying. They might be stuck in the system. Some people are saying that Maresca is squeezing the creativity out of a lot of our players by, and you see it in the movement. The movement's really limited in Chelsea. People, with the exception, I would say, of Cucurella, or like to have freedom. And now we have Palmer playing on the inside left channel when we know his strength is on the right or on the inside right channel since he's a left footed player. But somehow he's playing on the inside left channel most of the game. I don't, dude, dudettes, duderinos, amigos, amigas, wouldn't get it. But fine. Let's put some pressure on his stupid decisions or where things are, especially because he's missing the DNA. I want to hear more about that, Maresca and everybody. What it is to be a Chelsea winning team and be winners. That's what we care about. Fighters. Even if we don't win, we go down with a fight. And we certainly can take on relegated teams. So let's hope things get positive. Pure positive vibe, guys. Looking forward to the next match. I will make the preview for the next matches coming up. I also owe you the return leg for the Arsenal game, which let's hope the bottlers in chief lose against the turnaround kings, the turnaround royalty in Europe, and we don't see Arsenal dangerously close. I think they have the talent to win a Champions League. That would just make our season very sad if we don't make the Champions League and they win a Champions League. Spurs manage to win a cup. No, no, get out of here. No, we can't have all that. So we'll be making some videos. And as always, to all the Chelsea fans, well, let me start with the players. I believe in you. We love you. We support you. Just please fight like hell, fight like hell. Enzo Maresca, I hope you're listening. Please stop saying stupid shit. Pull your head out of your ass. See if you can. It's okay to make some tweaks. We got a run of games going, and it's not working. Okay, we'll support you. We'll support you. Hopefully, there's still some of us that are willing to support you. So please hang in there. And as always, to the fans, come on, you Blues.